Welcome to the Beltway Baseball Podcast. It is I, Gio Velasco, with my co-host Lee Pruitt and a special guest, Ben Poff. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm happy to be here.
Happy to have you here. This episode, we're going to go over the end of the WBC. We're going to go over the tournament, and then we're going to go over opening day, which is tomorrow. But when you're hearing this, it's going to be today, and the results will probably be out or about to happen. So, boys, how about that tournament?
It did not disappoint. It did not
That's for
disappoint. Those early games, the qualifying matchups in each pool and everything, I was pretty worried at first and disappointed and mad just because the games weren't that exciting. I mean, it was exciting to see international baseball, but honestly, the initial games in like Pool A and Pool B were not that exciting, and there weren't a lot of fans in those stadiums. So I was really disappointed in that. I was like, you're going to have this international tournament and you can't fill up the stadiums. I guess maybe COVID regulations over in those countries, which I understand, but it also makes me wish that they would have had it in a place where COVID restrictions weren't a problem. But all of a sudden, when those knockout games started, something changed. Like a switch flipped and it just took off, and it was just some pretty dang good baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I mean, obviously in those earlier games, there were certainly some moments that turned me off from the World Baseball Classic. Being a Mets fan, seeing Edwin Diaz go down, while celebrating, that certainly made me a little nervous about the rest of the tournament. And I was like, come on, we're really going to put our players in jeopardy like this? But man, after seeing the knockout stages, it was absolutely worth it. The games were so much fun to watch. It was a perfect way to get into the baseball season. I had a lot of fun watching the games and following the tournament.
Oh, yeah, well said. Yeah, it's just even people who don't watch baseball were into it, fell in love with it. They're just like, dude, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the real turning point, which is unfortunate that it had such a bad moment as well, was the Puerto Rico upsetting the DR, because I think a lot of people had the DR going far, if not winning the whole thing. So I think the tournament really got hyped when that happened. Now, unfortunately, it had the worst moment of the tournament, which is Edwin Diaz getting hurt while celebrating. So it was kind of a win-lose all at the same time. But yeah, I think after that game, just everything ignited, and I mean, there was just USA versus Venezuela. We can talk about that. That was an amazing game. Team Mexico just showed up. Like, they were crazy. And I mean, Japan didn't lose a single game and won the whole thing. So we can get into talking about those games, but yeah, it just got electric as soon as those knockout stages started and the big stars came out to play.
Oh, yeah. And I will admit, I didn't watch the first quarterfinal games of Australia and Cuba and Italy and Japan because it was 5 a.m. and I was very tired. But, I watched the highlights. I rewatched the game, and yeah, they were exciting. Cuba just scraping by Australia, and Italy put up a fight against Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it was 9-3 at the end.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Cuba was they kind of snuck in getting out of their pool, and then they went for a little run there, got past Australia, but we kind of destroyed them.
Yeah, overall, just seeing like the players, just seeing them all come together and on one team is just so fun to watch. I'm a big basketball fan as well, and some of those like Team USA teams that are put together are so fun to watch. So to get to watch a baseball version of that, and this is the first time I've ever really gotten into the World Baseball Classic. So for me personally, this was a really cool experience.
Oh yeah. I didn't even get into the classic until the last one in 2017. So that setting up for this one was like super exciting. USA taking that one. And speaking of the US, what a quarterfinal game.
Oh yeah.
Get the blood pumping. Like I was so mad after we blew that lead and Daniel Bard couldn't find the strike zone to save his life. I was yelling at the TV, yelling at DeRosa. I was calling him names. I was like, what are you doing? He hasn't been able to throw it over the plate all World Baseball Classic, and you're letting him pitch in this moment. And then that Trey Turner just beautiful grand slam that take that lead. Just it screamed America.
It was electric. I think that's the best word to describe it. Electric.
Yeah, I have a confession to make. I did turn that game off. I think I started watching hockey or something because of the when Bard came in and just it was unraveling before our very eyes. And then going on Instagram later and seeing what happened, I was like, oh man, I wish I would have been able to watch that live because that might be one of the best baseball moments in American history at least, but and maybe in the whole sport in general. So yeah, that was what a game, and that was just the start of the knockout stages.
Oh yeah, and don't feel too bad. I also turned off my TV and I only turned it on when I saw the bases were loaded, and I was like, something might be going on here.
You were smelling a comeback.
Oh yeah, blood in the water. I think one of the most underrated games that no one talks about is the Puerto Rico-Mexico game, where it's just Mexico had to come back and beat Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Arozarena, man.
Yeah, Randy. I mean, when you got a guy named Randy, you know you're gonna go far. I mean, yeah, he Randy shows up in big games. He does, and he continues to do it. And yeah, the Team Mexico just they had some electric players between Rosarena and Meneses showed up, amongst others. It was really awesome to see that team come together and embrace their country. And yeah, that was a good game, close. And yeah, they had to make the comeback, and yeah, Mexico was a tough out, that's for sure.
Yeah, I never would have expected Mexico to go that far. I mean, they ended up winning the group, and then to make a run in the tournament like that, it was impressive. It was very impressive to watch, and it'll be interesting to see whether or not Rosarena can keep this up when it comes to the MLB season. But I mean, like you said, couldn't have said it better myself. He shows up in big games, and it's fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
I think this was the farthest they've ever gone.
I would believe it. Yeah, I had them when we had talked about this previously. I had them getting out of the group stage, but not winning the group, and I think that was one of the most shocking things, and that that really made me frustrated when the United States lost to them. I was not. That was another moment where I was not happy with the USA. They just did not seem into it, but credit to Mexico, I think really is they came together as a team, as a country. They stared down a very intimidating United States team, and they took it to us. They won the group, and they showed that they could win in the knockout stages as well. So I mean, I think it just is a testament to the quality of players coming out of Mexico, and yeah, it's exciting to see baseball growing there, and just the amount of talent they have from that country.
Did you guys hear the story about Rosarena and Mexican citizenship?
No.
So he defected from Cuba, landed in Mexico, and he's been working to get his citizenship for a while. And he's playing in the MLB, so it's been a while. So he's still doing it, and he's like in America playing baseball. On a Instagram Live, he actually asked the Mexican president, he's like, if I play for the WBC, will you grant me Mexican citizenship? The president said yes. So now he's a Mexican citizen because he represented them in the Classic. And when we were playing Cuba in the semifinals, he was rooting for Cuba only because he wanted to knock them out in the finals.
I did see that. Yeah, I did see that. I was like, okay, Randy, okay. No big government. I see you. I see you.
Well, I think that covers the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I say the semifinals. I mean, it was definitely a lopsided game. Although it didn't start out that way for USA Cuba. I'm pretty sure that was the game where was Wainwright started that one, right?
Yep, made 2 errors.
Yeah, they had like 3 infield hits right off the bat, and somehow and there were no outs.
Walked a run in.
Then he walked a run in. I was like, oh my gosh. We just came off this high of the Trey Turner home run. Everybody was feeling it, and this is how we start. But somehow we managed to only give up 1 run, and then we put up 14. So it's tough to lose when you do that. So yeah, that was lopsided. But as an American, you love to see it. And then Japan and Mexico, man, just 2 teams absolutely rolling. And yeah, that one came down to the end. Japan actually had to make the comeback.
Yep, walked it off. A double in the gap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, say Mexico blew that one. But go ahead, Ben.
There's a moment I legitimately thought Mexico was going to win that game, and I was amazed. I was like, is Mexico really about to go to the World Baseball Classic Championship? I thought we were going to see a Mexico-U.S. rematch in the finals. I was a little surprised when Japan completed the comeback, but I probably shouldn't have been. They just had a great tournament overall.
Oh yeah. I say I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh man, USA Mexico final. I guess that's how it's going to be. But Japan never quit, so we know how the story ended. But yeah, I say, as I've said over and over again, Mexico just showed up. They were tough out.
And that's what you mentioned earlier about. One of you mentioned earlier about the World Baseball Classic bringing together people that don't really follow baseball. My roommate in college is Mexican, and so I kept updating him on the game, like Mexico has the lead and stuff. And he doesn't follow baseball at all, but he was still getting into it. He'd be checking the scores, being, I told him, when Mexico lost, he was disappointed and stuff. So just to see him kind of getting into it as well was pretty cool to watch as someone that's not really a big baseball fan.
Oh yeah, awesome. It was so good for the sport. So good for the sport. I think it brought a lot of people to the game and got a lot of people excited for the game, like you're saying. So I think that was a huge win as far as this tournament goes, reaching new audiences and new fans. So that's a good point, Ben.
I'm not saying it's the World Cup. Soccer fans don't get mad. It's not the World Cup. But man, it has that feel to the World Cup. Just like, I'm not even a fan of this country, but wow, I love you.
Well, I think for sure this is just a reminder that we need more international tournaments, because I mean, everybody loves the World Cup, and the World Cup is the best international tournament. I'll say that. But I mean, this showed that baseball can put on a great show as well. And even Connor McDavid, who's the best player in the NHL, he was saying that the World Baseball Classic showed that hockey needs to do the same thing and have the best players from each country and play against each other in the Olympics and international tournaments and stuff. So I think it caught a lot of people's attention, this tournament. And yeah, I hope we see more international competition in every sport, because it's fun to see the countries come together and compete and it also helps bring the world together, which we certainly need. So, yeah, good stuff.
Oh yeah, and that final, even though we lost, it was still electric. That final at bat with Shohei and Trout, everything that everyone's been waiting for. It didn't disappoint.
I literally just got chills just thinking about that at bat. That was so fun to watch.
Yeah, say we know the NFL has script writers, but I think the World Baseball Classic Championship, the script writers came together for that one because, I mean, I would say it was a perfect ending if the USA won, but I think for baseball in general, it was the perfect ending because a team other than the USA won, which the USA, I mean, we started baseball, but just to have those probably the two best players in the whole world, Shohei and Trout, finish the game facing each other, teammates. I mean, that just was the cherry on top to a beautiful tournament, and yeah, what a way to end it. I mean, if it was scripted, I would believe it.
Even if it's scripted, I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
unfortunately, we probably.
Oh, go ahead, my bad. You're good.
Sorry, I was gonna say, unfortunately, we haven't gotten to see these two players play in many big games. So getting to watch Ohtani and Trout play in a game that was actually very meaningful. We haven't really seen them in the postseason. So getting to watch that, it was just a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a really good point, Ben, because I mean, Trout's only played 3 playoff games, and Shohei hasn't been there. So I think that's something that baseball fans have been yearning for, is to see them in meaningful games. And yeah, this was a meaningful game for sure, and it's what we've all been hoping for, and I hope we get to see more of it in the future with those two.
Absolutely. And Trout kept saying during the tournament, like, this is something like I've never felt. I love it. I want to be in the playoffs. I want to be in a tournament. And all of baseball's hoping, like, Angels find a way to sneak in. Just Tyler Anderson, Shohei, Trout, Rendon, find a way. Just make us happy. But, man,
and that's what my dad said.
Go ahead.
My dad said he asked me if I think that Edwin Diaz's injury is going to affect players' willingness to play in the World Baseball Classic in the future, specifically MLB players. And I said no. I mean, I think that these guys are professionals, and we kind of compared it to the World Cup a little bit. I think that these players get a lot of pride in competing for their country, and so I think like Shohei Ohtani is a great example of an MLB player who, yeah, an injury could hurt his MLB career, but I think he cares just as much about competing for his country.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, just ask there was like interviews going around, and these players are like, I love it. Like, it means nothing means more to me than like putting my country on the map, and like having this flag on my shoulder means nothing more. And I love it.
Oh yeah. I loved the way each country embraced their culture. I mean, you got the Italians with the espresso machine. You got the Great Britain with the knighting after the home runs. You got Israel with the mensch on the bench. I mean,
And the
I think
Hebrew
the
lineup.
Yeah, the Hebrew lineup card, which was awesome. Yeah, it's just so many other things that they just embrace their culture and stuff. So I think that was really great to see, and just yeah, very good for the game and good for everybody.
Oh yeah. And like Japan, like, great team. Like,
oh yeah,
they won it, and props to them, man. And like, props to MLB The Show. Like, they knew this is a big thing. And then in their mode Diamond Dynasty, they dropped a ton of WBC cards. They're just like, hey, like, these guys representing their country, like, have fun with them.
Oh yeah.
I think that covers the WBC, unless you guys want to add anything. And
I had 2 things. One, I think I think Ben brought up a good point, and one that I was thinking before we were recording was that Ben already answered this, but do you think, Gio, that Diaz's injury has any effect on either players' willingness to compete in the tournament in 26 or MLB's restrictions as far as major leaguers playing in it, or are you not worried about that?
I'm not worried about it because Diaz, like, yeah, he's sad he got hurt. He's missing the season, but he's also like, I did it for my country.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I went down for my country. That means a lot. I think these players see the tournament, see how much fun everyone's having, and like how much they love it, and they're like, you know what, I want to do that. That's what happened with Trout in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
He said no, saw these guys playing, and he's like, I missed out.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be there.
Oh yeah, I think you said it really well there. I think that's a good point. I think their motivation to play for their country will outrule or outweigh any decision that MLB can make, or I mean, the players are willing, so, and are still willing, even with the risk of injury. So yeah, I mean, I was a little worried at first because, like, I know the NHL, I'm a big hockey fan. I know they don't allow NHL players to compete in like the Olympics, so I was worried that we might face a situation like that, which would really be a bummer. But now that I haven't really heard anything come out about it, and just seeing, like you're saying, like you guys have been saying, the players' willingness to represent for their country, I definitely am less worried about that being the case, and I can't wait for the next tournament to come. Well,
Yeah.
and then my second thing was, what do you think is the better moment, Adam Jones's catch in 2017 or Trey Turner's grand slam this World Baseball Classic?
Oh, those are both two amazing moments, but I might have to go with the Adam Jones catch because it was US never won a WBC. It was like, oh, home run, we're gonna lose, and just that magical moment of him in the air, grab, catch, just I remember freaking out being in high school, just on the couch, like no way that just happened.
I think if the U.S. would have won this year, that won it all this year, I think Trey Turner's moment may have surpassed it. I think the fact that they didn't end up winning the World Baseball Classic this year, maybe it'll get lost in history a little bit, but they're both very iconic. But I agree, I'm going to take Adam Jones' moment by a hair, by a hair.
I'm with you guys there. Yeah, just by a hair. Both iconic moments, but yeah, I think the fact that we won that tournament, and yeah, I mean, what a catch it was, and I loved Matt Vasgersian on the call, and yeah, so I think the Jones catch still is number one as far as USA Team USA moments, but Trey Turner is a close second because that was incredible.
Oh yeah, is there a little O's bias in that? You know, Manny being the hitter, Adam Jones being the one who made the catch.
Oh yeah, I mean, I do got a soft spot for Adam Jones, that's for sure. That I think that plays into it in my case, but yeah, I think I am along the reasons of you guys as well.
Well, I have a question. Are you guys excited for opening day tomorrow?
That's not even a question.
Yes.
Of course I am. I've got my Pete Alonso jersey all laid out, ready to go.
Big Meat Pete.
Nice.
Can't go wrong there.
Absolutely. Brand new. Haven't even taken the tags off yet. Can't wait.
Oh my.
And some great matchups tomorrow. I'm so excited. I've been looking and I'm seeing like DeGrom versus Aaron Nola, Sandy versus Scherzer. Some of these just the opening day matchups, because you know it's just all the best frontline starters going at it. Cole versus Webb, Gibson versus Kluber.
I'm excited about that one.
Oh yeah, I bet you are. Lopez versus Greinke, Fried versus Corbin, Burns versus Stroman, Erod versus McClanahan, Nola versus DeGrom, Keller versus Green, Herman Marquez versus Blake Snell, Manoa versus Mikolas, Cease versus Valdez, Otani versus Muller, Gallen versus Urias, Bieber versus Castillo.
Ooh.
Full day of baseball from 1:05 to 10:10 start times.
So your Nationals are kicking it off, Gio. How are we feeling?
Well, I keep telling everyone there's one way I'm going to describe the season, and that's a lot of loss, but of a lot of excitement. It's going to be exciting seeing all these young guys and all these players making impacts. Like we're probably still going to lose a lot, but man, we're going to make it exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Nationals make it interesting.
They always do somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Ben, how do you feel facing Sandy tomorrow?
Yeah, that's not the ideal first matchup. You definitely want to get on the right start, but I mean, hey, we'll come out showing what we've got. We want to come out and prove that we're a championship contending team, and if that means beating Sandy Alcantara, then I'm here for it. I think it's going to say a lot about our hitting, but I think that arguably we have just as good of a pitcher on the other side of the mound, so I think it's going to be a great game. We might win it 2-1, we might lose it 2-1, but I think it's going to be a great game, and I'm really excited to watch.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a great game in Miami, the place of the WBC championship. And hey, I love Scherzer too. Former Nat.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, we need a big season for Scherzer. We're putting so much into these older pitchers that this is make or break time, and I think this is you don't want to put too much stock on one game, but seeing how our hitters do against one of the best pitchers in the league, it's going to be interesting to watch.
Just gotta hope these old guys' tires don't pop.
That's what I'm concerned about. But I've gone through many years of watching Jacob deGrom pop plenty of tires, so at this point, I'm used to watching our star pitchers get hurt.
That's a good point, but on paper I love the Mets. Like they look fantastic, but I can never get behind them because I always say one thing: the Mets just somehow met it up.
Yeah, it seems to be a common theme. I will say I think that the Steve Cohen effect is about to take effect. I thought it might last year, didn't get done last year, but I think at this point he's ready to do whatever it takes to win. So any big name that's on the market at the trade deadline, I think the Mets are going to be at the top of the list. I think we're going to make any move necessary to compete this year. I think the window's closing fast, and I would bet on the lineup that we have right now in our lineup going into the postseason. I'll just say that.
Yeah, there you go. Luke, how do you feel about facing Boston with Kyle Gibson?
I feel pretty good. Orioles have a good track record as far as opening day goes. I mean, we're 44-25 since the team moved to Baltimore in '54. So, and according to MLB, that's the second best winning percentage of any team in that span. So, we have we definitely show up on opening day. As far as the rest of the year, we'll see. But yeah, I think the Orioles will make it interesting. I wish it was in Baltimore, but I mean, we'll just have to be patient, or I'll have to be patient. But yeah, I'm excited for the Orioles to get it started. I'm excited for Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson to experience opening day for the first time. So I think that'll be great for them and to get a full season out of them. And yeah, I think it's just I think it'll be a taste of things to come. I think however this first game plays out, it'll kind of be a miniature version of what the season will look like. I mean, I think that could be a lot to put on one game, but I think that'll kind of describe the Orioles season.
Oh yeah. And the Nats hosting Atlanta. Patrick Corbin. I'm obviously gonna go ahead and choose Atlanta. That's yeah.
It's the Patrick Corbin give up less than 7 earned runs and impossible challenge tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm ready to see his like 9 point something ERA throughout the year again.
Yeah, that's he's an interesting case there. I don't know how you do what Patrick Corbin has done, but it's impressive in not a good way. But we won't dwell on it too much for your sake, Gio.
I just tune him out, even if he's like the center stage of baseball right there. I'm just tuning him out.
He got you that ring, though, Gio. He got you that ring.
It's the one reason I'm okay with him being here.
It forgives all sins in baseball. It is the atonement.
Like I always say, I will take one World Series ring and then 10 years of badness just for that one ring.
Cheering for a team that hasn't won in 40 years, I'm there with you. One World Series title will make up for all the pain.
Oh, it does.
I think Ben would agree with that too.
I just want something. I just want some sort of postseason success. I mean, obviously 2015 2015 we had the run to the World Series, so I can't complain too much. But man, ever since then, it's just been get your hopes up, get your hopes crushed. Get your hopes up, get your hopes crushed. I mean, I remember I was in a public place watching the Mets Padres game on my computer. We were in the library, and I think everybody heard me. I like slammed the table when we lost that game. It's just so frustrating. Just been a few years of frustration as a Mets fan. So, but I have hope.
Yeah. Hey, you have good reason to have hope. You guys have a good team, so, and we know Uncle Steve will do whatever it takes to give him a chance at winning, which I think is something that all the rest of the teams in the major leagues envy, is having an owner that will press all the buttons and do what he can, because not every team has that. Ace. So yeah, no, it's the Mets. The Mets are gonna be there. That's for sure. They're gonna try their darndest to make it happen.
Can I just say there is some robbery for opening day for the Nationals? Corbin got the start. Josiah Gray posted a 0.55 ERA in spring training.
Yeah, I don't get that.
0.55. Like that's like giving up one. I think he gave up one earned run through all of spring training.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Like, why not give it to the young guy? Give him that confidence boost. Say, hey, we trust in you. You had a great spring training. Yeah, I don't understand why not give it to him. But I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of any good reason not to. I mean, like you're saying, 0.55 ERA, 16 innings, 14 strikeouts. And you can't do much better than that. So
that's like having two amazing starts in a row.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Going 8 innings, giving up like a run between those two starts. Like, yeah, it's interesting, but hey, at least it's a good sign for the rest of the year. I mean, hopefully you can get like 25, 30 starts out of him. So, and maybe this will be the year that Gray really becomes a quality starter.
Well, I hope so. He's on my fantasy team.
No, well, that he has an even better reason to do so for you.
So, let's go over the games for opening day, and let's say who we think is going to win. We have Atlanta and Washington. Atlanta for me.
Yeah, I'm going Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be Atlanta for me too. I'm excited. I'm actually excited about Atlanta. I'm a sucker for the A's, so I kind of follow their players wherever they end up. And I was excited that Sean Murphy was traded to the Braves. I think he'll be a good fit there. Kind of an underrated catcher because he did play in Oakland, but yeah, I think he has the potential to go off there, and he's back with his former teammate Matt Olson. So I think that Braves team is going to be scary, and yeah, sorry, Gio, but I don't think the Nationals have too good of a chance tomorrow.
I don't think so either.
But are you working the game? That's the most important thing.
I will be there. Yep.
As an employee.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Nice, nice. How many opening days is this for you, Gio?
This will be my 5th.
Oh wow. Nice, nice.
Yep. Very excited.
More opening days for you, Gio, than Strasburg has had starts since he signed his contract.
From one bad pitcher with a contract to another.
I'm sorry, Gio. I'm sorry. If Ben's not going to bust on you with a team in your division, I'm just going to have to cherry pick.
All right, Luke. When we're done with this recording, I'm getting on MLB The Show, getting on Rookie, and I am up to 100 runs on the O's.
They're just going to blast the Orioles.
The other games we have San Francisco coming to New York. It's Logan Webb versus Garrett Cole. I have the Yankees for that one.
Give me the
Yeah,
Giants. I'll go upset here. I don't like Garrett Cole. And it might be a biased pick, but I can't stand Garrett Cole. And so I'm going to go with the Giants. I'm a Logan Webb fan. I think he can have a good season. So I'll take the Giants in an upset.
I'm excited to finally see Aaron Judge get to play against his brother Arson Judge. I think that's going to make for a really interesting matchup.
Mm.
Do you guys remember that story?
I'm not quite
I
sure.
do not.
Well, when John Heyman broke the he got a little ahead of himself and broke the news that Aaron Judge was going to sign with the Giants, but there was a little spelling error, and it was Arson Judge, and then the report ended up being wrong. So yeah, joke's less funny now that I explained it, but yeah, that's that's the lore behind such a joke. But anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Giants. I trust Logan Webb. I don't trust the Yankees. I think it'll be interesting for the Yankees. They have Anthony Volpe's going to be starting at shortstop, which he's the number 5 prospect in all of baseball, and he's going to kind of follow in Jeter's footsteps of being a 21-year-old shortstop to debut with them. So I think it'll be interesting to see how he handles that situation. Playing in New York is no easy task, and starting on opening day is also no easy task. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think it'll be a good game there, and I think I have the Giants pulling this one out.
Nice. You know, Yankees did lose the Nationals 3-0. I just want to put that out there. And two, you know, I don't know the name of the condition, but Logan Webb has a condition where his eyes get blurry, so he has trouble reading the signs because it's blurry. Not that important, but I just I heard it, so I thought it was a cool fact that like he's a pitcher, but he can still dominate.
Oh yeah, I say that's impressive. I guess he was one of the very happy about PitchCom then.
Oh yeah, just tap that there. And then we got the O's in Boston. I'm gonna go with the O's. That record helped.
Yeah, I'll go with the O's as well. Yeah, I mean they're great on opening day. That was a nice fact there, Luke. I like Kyle Gibson. I am curious to watch Corey Kluber and see what he can do, but at this point in his career, I just don't trust him as a number 1 pitcher. So I'll go with the Orioles.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Orioles too. We like I said, we do have a good track record on opening day, and we also, for some reason, seem to play well against Boston and teams like Boston and New York. early in the season. So I think we'll pull this one out.
Next game is Milwaukee is headed into Chicago to play the Cubs. It's Corbin Burns versus Marcus Stroman. You know, Corbin Burns is the reason I'm going to pick them.
Yeah, I'm not going to overthink this one. I'm also going to take Corbin Burns. I mean, I have a slight soft spot for any former Met, so I'll be rooting for Marcus Stroman. But yeah, I think Corbin Burns is too good to not take the Brewers here.
Yeah, I think I'm with you guys there. I think Corbin Burns is going to carve up what I call the most mid team in all of baseball. I mean, so yeah, got to go with the Brew Crew there.
Next game after that, Detroit heads into Tampa. You got Erod versus Shane McClanahan. I think it's the same as last game we just went over, and just McClanahan alone gets my pick.
Yeah, I agree. I think McClanahan's a better player. They have the better pitcher and the better offense. So I'm not going to overthink this one either. I'm going to go with the Rays.
Yeah, another easy one. I think I'm going to go with the Rays as well. Even against Orioles legend Eduardo Rodriguez. Yeah, I think McClanahan will be dominant. I think the Rays lineup will be chippy, and Javier Baez will swing at something in the other batter's box. So it's going to be the Rays.
Next game after that, we have, this is one I'm really excited for, the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Texas Rangers. Aaron Nola versus former Met Jacob deGrom. I'm going to go with Texas.
Yeah, other than the Mets game, this is the game I'm going to be watching the closest. Obviously, I want to see the division rival in the Phillies, see what they've got this year, but I am really curious to see what Jacob deGrom has. I mean, he was my favorite player for years. I'm a big, I follow teams from every sport. I would say Jacob deGrom is my first, true favorite player to leave my team. I mean, I'm a Steelers fan. Ben Roethlisberger retired with the team. I'm a Warriors fan. Steph Curry's been there his whole career. So to see Jacob deGrom leave, I didn't really know how to act. So I don't know whether or not to root for him or root against him. I have no idea. I'm curious what he's going to do. I'm very curious. But I know from experience that when he's healthy, he is the best pitcher in baseball. So I'll go with the Rangers here.
Oh, absolutely. And he was lights out in spring training.
Yeah.
I'm gonna differ from you guys. I'm gonna go with the Phillies. I think I know they're struggling with the injuries, which is unfortunate, and Bryce Harper won't be back till mid-season, and Rhys Hoskins could be out the whole season. So those are really unfortunate, but I don't know. I just think the Fighting Phils will at least get this one. It's gonna be low scoring, but I think the Fighting Phils will get this one. And like you guys, I'm interested to see deGrom in another uniform. I think that'll be interesting to see how he handles being in Texas, getting out of New York, and probably a little less pressure down there in Texas. I mean, they're still sort of rebuilding. I mean, they have a lot of superstars that they've acquired, but they're still rebuilding or trying to contend. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he handles the new environment and pitching in the heat over the summertime. But for opening day, yeah, I think it was going to be a good pitching battle.
Oh, yeah, don't forget that roof can close if it gets too hot. And
Yes.
Aaron Nola pitches great games, but his team just somehow screws him over. Having fantasy last year, he would do great, give up one run, and they would lose 1-0.
I've experienced plenty of those with deGrom on the Mets. So he also has a history of that happening. I don't know if it'll be the same for him on the Rangers, but I mean, I remember the one year he had like a 9-8 record and one of the best ERAs in baseball. So we'll see.
Next game, we got the Twins. Let's go Twins. Go into Kansas City. Pablo Lopez takes on good old Zach Greinke. I'm going to go Minnesota. Great lineup. Pablo Lopez, great pitcher.
Yeah, I'll take the upset here. I think it'd be boring if I went all chalk picks, so I'll go with the Royals here. I think they have a fun young team. Zach Greinke, I don't know, maybe I think he can get the job done. And then watching guys like Bobby Witt, see what he has to see what he has on opening day. I don't know. I'll go with the Royals here in the upset.
Oh man, yeah, this is a little more of a tricky one. I I think I'm going to go Minnesota. I think that's a little bit of the safer pick, but yeah, this one could honestly go either way. But be interesting to see Joey Gallo in Minnesota and see Joey Gallo not with the shift. So
Oh
we'll
yeah.
see how he can see how that impacts him tomorrow and for the rest of the season. See if that can help his average go up and he can return to more of the power guy that he was before. So we'll see.
Great point.
And then one of the crappiest games tomorrow, Pittsburgh goes into Cincinnati. Mitch Keller takes on Hunter Green. I'm going to go with the upset. I think Pittsburgh wins that. Like Hunter Green had a no-hitter. Like he threw a no-hitter and lost to Pittsburgh.
Oh, I forgot that was him. Yeah, I think I'm a big Hunter Green fan, so it's hard for me to. I shouldn't say that, but I think he'll have a better season this year than last year at least. Yeah, I'll go Pirates. I'll go Pirates as well. I think they have a better lineup, a lot of fun young guys to watch. I'll go Pirates.
I'll differ from you guys here, and then I'm going to go with the Reds. I think Jonathan India will have a bounce back season after having a sophomore slump, and yeah, I think they'll pull it out. Although I honestly hate to go against the sexiest man in baseball, G-Man Choi, but you got to do what you got to do.
Whoa, that's a bold statement. Calling him the sexiest man. Have you seen Daniel Vogelbach?
Oh, I got his baseball reference page pulled up right now, Ben. Don't you worry. He's a Pittsburgh Pirate alumni as well. So,
all right.
don't you that that man is as sexy as they come. Don't you worry.
I mean, no one will beat Bartolo Colon, but we can.
No,
Not at all. Big sexy.
There's more of a debate now that he's not in the league, but yeah, nobody beats Big Bart.
He's losing weight now. It's cool to see. Like he's really working out.
He's slimming. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give him a chance.
I know, Uncle Steve. You need a closer. Bring him in.
Once four of the five Mets starters go down, you can sign Cologne to help you out.
I think he should be the closer. That's perfect. That's so perfect.
One
inning.
What would his song be? He's gonna need an intro song.
It should be the trumpets, but like on a kazoo.
Like, could it be like the John Cena theme music on the trump, but on the kazoo?
Oh, that would be so good.
The next game we have is Colorado goes into San Diego against Herman Marquez versus Blake Snell. I'm going to go with San Diego. I mean, Colorado, horrible pitching team. Blake Snell, he's all right. And that San Diego lineup, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that San Diego lineup's too good for me to bet against. I'm taking the Padres here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Padres too. I think it's an easy choice. That lineup, I think Snell will do well. And looking over the Rockies lineup, I did not realize they had Mike Moustakas.
He barely made the roster.
Just barely. A moose himself. But yeah, I think it's an easy choice. Padres. I'm excited to see a full season of Soto there. Yeah, I mean they have Nelson Cruz, so we'll see what he can keep doing. And yeah, it's a good team. Machado, he got that extension or contract resituated. So, but yeah, Padres are a good team. They're going to be in it, and I think they take opening day.
Next game we have is the Blue Jays heading to St. Louis. I know I raved about the Blue Jays, but I'm actually going to pick St. Louis. It's Manoah versus Mikolas.
I'm going to take the Blue Jays here. I'm a big Blue Jays fan this year. I have them in my World Series in my preseason predictions, so I think they get off on the right foot here and take this game.
Yeah, I'm there with you guys. I'm going to go with the Blue Jays here. They're a scary team, pitching-wise and offensively. And I'm there with you, Ben. I actually have them as my World Series winner over Atlanta for my preseason predictions. So it sounds like we're of the same mind there.
I think I had the same thing too.
Gonna be good.
We talked about it.
Yeah. I think we're all on the Blue Jays bandwagon a little bit there. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, they're going to be a good team.
Yeah, for sure.
Then we have Ben's favorite game, the Mets going into Miami. Scherzer versus Alcantara, and I don't have Alcantara getting the win, but I have Miami winning.
That's interesting. I'll take the Mets here. You can call it bias. It probably is, but I think Max Scherzer just almost as good as Alcantara. I think our lineup is much better than the Marlins. I think we're able to squeeze a couple past him, and then if we can get him out of the game, I like our chances in the later innings. I think even without Diaz, our bullpen is strong enough. I'm a big Ottavino fan. I'm really glad we brought it back. So I'm going to take the Mets here.
Yeah, this is going to be a good pitching matchup and a very fun game to watch. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to go with the Mets just based on their offense is a good bit better, if not a great bit better than the Marlins. But I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I mean, Alcantara had a good spring training, 13 innings, 15 strikeouts. And then Mad Max is Mad Max. I mean, do we really want to bet against him? I don't think so. So
he did get lit up by the Nationals in spring training. I just
yes,
that was it's pretty bad outing.
Yeah, I think that maybe inflated his ERA. If you can call a 1.53 ERA inflated, but yeah, 17 innings and 25 strikeouts. Max Scherzer's looking like Max Scherzer at the ripe old age of 38. So I think he's in. Ben's in for another good season of him, and I'm for another good season of watching him as a baseball fan.
Oh yeah. Well, I have a question though, Ben.
Yeah.
You like jazz?
Yeah. I'm not worried. It's one player. If the Angels have taught me anything, it's that one player is not enough to win game, or one or two players isn't enough to win games. So Jazz is fun. He's fun to watch, but I don't think he'll be the difference maker. Give me good pitching over good hitting. I think Shohei proved that in the last step out of the World Baseball Classic. So Max versus Jazz, game on the line. Give me Max.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys think that Jazz will be the first person to bring the gritty into baseball, Major League Baseball, or do you think it'll be somebody else?
Absolutely, it's going to be Jazz. He already Euro stepped into home plate. He'll gritty in there.
Yeah.
Probably take Scherzer deep for a solo shot. Scherzer is guaranteed. He's always guaranteed for one home run, even as a national. Guaranteed for one home run.
Yeah. He might just paint one.
And heading into the nightcap of games, the White Sox go into Houston. Dylan Cease versus Framber Valdez. I am actually going to go Chicago.
I'm also going to go Chicago here. I'm a little down on I'm a little more down on the Astros this year than some. I think that they've had obviously losing Altuve hurt, losing Verlander hurt. So I think I'm going to take the White Sox here, and I think that this is going to be a sign of a little bit of a disappointing season in Houston.
I think that's an interesting take, Ben. I don't think I necessarily agree with you as far as it'll be a down year in Houston, but I wouldn't mind it. I hope it happens, but Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Houston for this one. Not that Cease isn't amazing, but he did have a little bit of a rough spring training. I didn't look at all his starts, but maybe a little inflated by a start or two. But yeah, I mean, I think Framber Valdez is as consistent as they come. I think he'll take this one for the Astros, but it'll be a good game, good ESPN nationally televised game, and yeah, it'll be good. But I think I have the Astros doing it as they seem to do.
I do want to quickly say, by down year, I don't mean they're going to miss the playoffs or anything. I'm just saying maybe a down year for the Astros standards. I will say I did my full predictions today. I do have them losing the division. So that's my really bold take going into this year. I have the Mariners pulling out that division, but
I was
I
gonna
still think the
say,
Astros are World Series contenders.
I could do that.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, I was wondering if you had Seattle winning the division, which I'm high on Seattle, so I could see that for sure. I think I see now Altuve being out does affect things, but they got Jose Abreu playing first now.
Yeah.
And then Jordan is as long as he stays healthy, he's probably going to light it up. And yeah, and Jeremy Pena, a full season of him. So yeah, we'll see. But it would be nice to see the Astros regress a little bit. So I hope your prediction comes true, Ben.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
all for it. I'm all for it.
Agreed. Heading into our last three games, the Angels in Oakland, Otani versus Muller. I think it's Kyle Muller. I mean, Angels all the way. Yeah, Kyle Muller had an 8.03 ERA last year in 3 games.
Yeah, I could be bold here and take the Athletics, but I'm not. I think the Angels are the clear pick here. It won't even be close.
Yeah, I think this probably is the easiest game to pick. I'm gonna go with the Angels as well. I wish it was in Los Angeles or Anaheim, just for the sake of a hero's welcome to both Shohei and Trout coming back from the WBC. So I wish it was in Anaheim, but yeah, I think still their Angels are going to show up. They have good offense, and Otani's on the mound, man. So he's just going to carve up that Oakland lineup.
WBC MVP.
Oh yeah.
And then we have the D-backs going into LA. Zach Gallen versus Urias. And before I predict this, I just wanted to say, Ben, if you listened to the first episode when we went over the teams, I went in on Oakland. Like, I was clowning them,
Really?
calling them out. I was saying you're a crap organization. You can't do anything right.
Yeah, I have a radio show on my college campus, and today I was doing my preview. And when I got to Oakland, I said that I think that they're going to be eliminated from playoff contention by May. So I'm with you there. I think they're a very poorly run organization.
I think they'll be eliminated by first pitch.
Has anyone checked? Are they eliminated yet? They might already be.
I think Ken Rosenthal just said that they've been mathematically eliminated as of tonight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think I saw that too.
what's
And
your
sold their
show
tickets.
called, Ben?
It's called Balling Out with Ben.
Ooh,
Every
I like
every
it.
Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. I go live on air and talk about sports. So
Well, go ahead
I love
quickly.
it.
Tell the fans where they can find you. You know, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want, and your radio show where they can find that.
yeah, so to find my radio show, you can go to you can look up Messiah Pulse Radio. It'll take you to the main website, and then if you scroll down a little bit, you should be able to find the live feed. Every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m., you can listen to me talk about sports. I give hot takes. I do a lot of discussion. And yeah, it's a good time. And then I also have a podcast on Spotify called Hot Take Artist that I do with a friend here on campus. I don't really talk. He's not really a big baseball fan, so we don't talk about baseball much on that one. But if you're a basketball or football fan, I highly recommend checking that out. We have a good time.
That sounds awesome. And do you want to plug your Instagram or anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. You can check me out on Instagram. My Instagram is just Ben Poff, all one word. And feel free to shoot me a DM. I always enjoy talking baseball and talking sports with people.
And don't forget your card
Oh yeah, of
account
course.
too.
And then I have BP.cards. I'm a huge sports card collector, and so I like to post some of my favorite cards that I get and make deals with people. So if anyone out there collects sports cards or have like a bunch of cards laying around that they don't want anymore from when they were a kid, shoot me a DM at BP.cards and I'll take a look at what you got and maybe we can work something out.
Sounds awesome. You heard that, folks? Do it. Follow.
Do it all.
Listen now. Well, after you finish this episode.
Appreciate it.
So the next game is Arizona in LA. Zach Gallen versus Urias. Hot take. Arizona takes this.
Wow.
Zach Gallen is a beast. I think Arizona's super underrated. When me and Luke were predicting the divisions, we first put San Francisco in third. We thought about it. We're like, nope. I think Arizona's decent. San Francisco sucks.
That's bold. When I did my predictions, I had Arizona finishing dead last in that division.
Whoa.
So I'm clearly not as high on Arizona as you guys are. So I'll take the Dodgers here. I'll follow suit to my predictions. I don't know. I think that the Diamondbacks have young pieces starting to take shape, but I just outside of Gallen don't have much faith in the rotation. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not on the train as much as you guys are.
Yeah, I think Arizona's going to be a sneaky team. Not a playoff team, but a sneaky team. I can understand not being high on them. They're unproven. But I think they'll do better than most think, and at least better than Colorado. But yeah, for tomorrow night's game, I'm just gonna have to go with LA. I mean, that lineup, Freeman, Betts. I mean, they had JD Martinez. We'll see if he can revive his career there. The Dodgers are the Dodgers. They're gonna be there. So I'm going with LA for this one.
Sucks about Gavin Lux though, tearing his ACL.
Yeah, another unfortunate early injury.
You hear that? You weird baseball fans that are blaming the WBC. It happens in spring training. What are you gonna do? Cancel that?
Yeah.
Our last game. It's a good one. Cleveland in Seattle. And quickly, I also wanted to say I keep forgetting this, so I need to go back. I think Arizona sneaks into a wild card spot.
Wow. That's really bold. That is really bold.
I looked over their rotation, their prospects coming up, their hitters, and I was like, yeah, this is a team. If they do things right at the trade deadline and players really hit their stride, they could sneak in. Probably like the last seed, but they can sneak in.
Maybe in the American League, but I mean, looking at the National League, I don't really see a spot for them. That's interesting.
It's a bold one, so.
Oh, for sure. But I respect it. I have a lot of respect. I love hot takes, so I respect it a lot.
But now, who do you think is going to win here? Seattle or Cleveland? I have Seattle. Castillo versus Shane Bieber.
Yeah, as much as I like Shane Bieber, I'm also going to go Seattle. I just said I have them winning the division. I'm really high on them. I think they get off on the right foot here. Julio Rodriguez, I don't envision a sophomore slump here. I think he just has a great season, and I think the team takes off.
Yeah, I'm there with you, Ben. I'm high on Seattle as well. Wouldn't surprise me if they win the division either. I think they'll take this one. I like their lineup is great. Julio Rodriguez looks like an absolute stud. They added Teoscar Hernandez, which I think was a great pickup for them. And then they got Cal Riley, big dumper. I think he's going to do his thing. Suarez, underrated home run hitter. Just look at his home run totals; are kind of ridiculous over the last several seasons. They just added Colton Wong too, I believe. So
Yeah.
I think that's a decent pickup. I think he'll be a good presence on that lineup, and I think they'll take that game tomorrow. But I wouldn't sleep on Cleveland either. I mean, they still have a lineup that manages to get it done, and then their rotation is good. But for one game tomorrow night on the West Coast, it is in Seattle. I have Seattle taking this one at home.
And I think people also forget Seattle has a great bullpen. Munoz, setup pieces that just
Seawald,
yeah, just fit together really well. So once Castillo gives you 7, you're set. And then they even added like veterans that can come in and play, like AJ Pollock.
They're dangerous.
It's gonna be a fun game though.
That's for sure.
Is there anything else you guys would like to add about opening day?
I can't wait. That's all I've got to say.
I think I'm there with you, Ben. I need baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one day in between is killing me. It's gonna be a sleepless night tonight.
Are you guys ready for the pitch clock being in effect?
I'm already kind of getting used to it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was maybe weird at first, but it's gonna end up being one of those things in a few years we look back and we're like, I can't really imagine the game without it.
I just don't like
agree with you there.
I don't like the only being able to throw over twice rule. That's just that. I think that kills it. It's just part of baseball.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I would change. Because really, how many pitchers throw over more than twice? It happens sometimes, but not that much. So, but yeah, I think it's something that at least I've got acclimated to early on, quicker than I thought, and I think like Ben said, it'll be something that we just can't imagine not being in the game. So, but I like what it'll do for the pace of the game. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm also kind of warming up to the idea of there not being a shift. I'm excited for the possibility of more offense in baseball. As much as I support pitchers and enjoy watching pitchers do their thing and the strategicness of the shift, but yeah, I think it'd be nice to have more run scoring and offense in the game.
Well, when they announced a lot of the rule changes, I was really excited for the DH, and same with getting rid of the shift. Like, let these kids play. Let the athleticism show when they're making diving plays in the infield. But if that's all for opening day, I would just like to thank you, Ben, for joining our podcast tonight.
Yes, thank you, Ben.
Thanks so much for having me.
A great guest.
This was a blast. I had a lot of fun being here.
Had a lot of fun having you. And folks, go follow him. Go listen to his stuff. Great guy. Great sports knowledge. Great hot takes.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Until next time, this has been the Baseball Beltway podcast. See you next time.